actually getting started. I'm Lisa Mitchell, Executive Director. We're so happy to have you. I realized today that this is the third year that I've had the great honor to work with Tina Friml, who brought these incredible comedians together tonight. She grew up in Middlebury, as some of you may know, but she's gone on to great comedic heights, Comedy Central, HBO Women in Comedy, Drew Barrymore's Banana Moors, and so much more. And this tonight is our first free show of a great series that's going on through the summer that involves a women in music series at Lincoln Peak that's monthly and kicks off on June 30th and goes through July and August with incredible performers. We also have another comedy show happening at the Clemens Family Farm in August. That's a BIPOC-focused comedian showcase called Comedy in Color. And we are honored to have 3 Boston comedians who are incredible, who are joining Tina here tonight, as well as Mark Salite, who you might know. He's local now, but he's an incredibly accomplished comedian in his own right. He was the first world champion of Palindrome. He had an incredible show last year in Edinburgh, and he was kind enough to MC for us last year, and he'll be doing his own hot 10 minutes here, introducing the comedians. And for all of our upcoming attractions, please go to townhalltheater.org, and thanks so much for being with us tonight. Mark, come on out. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, how about a hand for the very short Lisa Mitchell? This is an incredible show tonight, folks. As she mentioned, this is kind of a Middlebury Boston sandwich. So you've got Tina bringing it home, and then from Boston we have Kathy Ferris, Jay Smitty, and Caitlyn MC. How about giving them a hand, huh? And then I'm your local boy, Mark Salite. Why don't you give me anything you got left? Wow, what a crowd. You guys bring back memories of prison. This tough guy had his knuckles tattooed where it said love and hate. And I was like, check it out, dude, you can mix them up. Ovulate. Hot evil. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Dude wasn't that into wordplay. He just punched me in the throat with love. Oh, God, you guys, I had one of those computer hackers stole my identity and all my financial info. Now he's $20,000 in debt. If you're out there, buddy, got 9 more months of probation. Be careful. I don't want you ruining our good name. Huh? Yeah, I was able to do some shows in Europe last year, which was really exciting. But it's kind of scary because I don't have any small talk over there. You know what I mean? Like, I can go anywhere in America and I can bullshit with people for a while, right? I meet a guy from Cleveland, I'm like, oh, dude, sucks to be a Browns fan, huh? I don't fucking know. But he's just like, yeah. And then he goes, oh, Bernie Sanders. I'm like, yeah. But if I meet somebody from Switzerland, I'm like, I love your chard. Swiss chard is awesome. You won't catch me eating any of that Belgian chard. That shit's weak. I do like their endive, though. And then he goes, Bernie Sanders. I have a friend who makes horseshoes. Not a lot of money in it, but it behooves him. Wow, tough crowd. We tried to give you time for drinks. I don't know what you guys were doing. Yeah, so traveling's fun. Last week I was in Cheyenne. Sweet lady. Well, wow, you guys turned with a vengeance. You seemed so polite at the beginning, where like they flicked the lights a little and was like, Yeah, okay, wow. I mistook you. Cheers, you know, you got three assholes here tonight, so I think you picked the right show. Yeah, so, I don't know. Grandpa used to wear that button that said, "I like Ike." That made me so mad. I was like, how can you wear that after all he did to Tina? Well, at least you got the reference. Younger crowds are like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, Grandpa loves those corny old sayings, you know, like lefty loosey, righty tighty. He hates liberal women. Some of the sayings don't even make sense, you know, like, you can glue teeth and fur on a duck, but that don't make it a bear. It's just fun to do. Little duck feller going, I'm a big strong bear. Yeah, Grandpa's senile. It's kind of sad. Yeah, okay, let's check the notes here. You guys are leading me to do a couple different thoughts that I had before. Hamburger buns is a terrible nickname for your girlfriend. Trust me, I'm divorced. I do give the good back rubs though, ladies. You could ask my ex. She said I'm the most misogynist guy in the whole world. So I don't know why she divorced me, you know? My friends all think we must have had some big fight or cheating incident. Not really, we're just very different people. Like, I'm kind of the romantic type, you can probably tell. She prefers to show her love through anger and celibacy. Just a style difference, no judging involved, but I do think those might be incompatible. Anybody rich here? I'm so broke, I keep getting letters from credit card companies saying I'm pre-declined for their card. That sucks. Dating's fun, he lied. No? Wow, okay. Back to the notes. All right. I love board games, but some of them are so politically correct. Like, whoever thinks about the indigenous of Catan? I feel like a baseball pitcher, you know? Like, catcher's like, no. All right. So, as Lisa mentioned, my big claim to fame in the world is that I was once the world palindrome champion. And that just confuses people, especially when I try to use it to impress women. So I have to explain, you know, palindromes, words and sentences that are the same backwards and forwards. And she goes, huh? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Just like that, H-U-H. So I know she's totally digging me, right? I'm very intuitive with ladies. So I start pouring it on. I start throwing down original palindromes that I wrote. You know, like, Yoda's sad, oi. Yeah, I wrote that. Here's another one. Snug Dumbo Bob, mud buns. At this point, of course, the resistance is crumbling. So I go for the kill with a dirty palindrome. I look her right in the eye and say, wary alpine zen, I play raw. She looks right back and says, huh? So that didn't work out. I guess I'm getting a little old at this point for the dating scene, right? I'm a little old to be a trophy husband, huh? Not much of a trophy anymore. Be more like a certificate of participation. Like one of those rainbow-colored ribbons they give you just for showing up on field day, huh? It's true, though. I gotta face it, you know, I'm never gonna be that wham bam, thank you ma'am, love God. I gotta take it slow, you know, marshal my forces, gather my energy. Ladies call me the crock pot of love. I never actually get hot, but 4 hours later you're falling off the bone. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. So, I had a friend who's vegan, and he was like, you know, humans are the only animal that drinks milk when they're not babies. That's a really good point if you don't know about cats. But I was not persuaded. Yeah, you guys are a puzzle. You guys are a Rubik's Cube of an audience. I gotta be honest. So here's the thing. So I occasionally write humorous, allegedly, articles for 7 Days Vermont. And when I started, they go, whatever you do, don't say anything about Vermont being quaint. People fucking hate that. And I get that. It's kind of condescending or whatever, you know, but you know what? If you looked around, you know, little white church steeples and brick buildings and covered bridges, and my garbage is picked up by a horse-drawn wagon. Do you have a better word? We could say adorable? You know, precious? I think quaint is good. I don't know why people are embarrassed about it. Quaint is the stuff that every other state threw away and they wish they still had. That's why they come here on vacation, right? They got the not quaint at home all the time, right? That's why we're kind of like this Caribbean island, or a cold Caribbean island for the stiff white people, but still similar. I mean, really, what would you prefer? Would you like to look like New Jersey? You know, that's like Rutland. Now, Rutland is a city where the people in charge said, no one's calling us quaint. Quick, fill the streets with Jiffy Lubes and meth. And lo, it came to pass. And it's true, no one calls Rutland quaint, do they? The land of ruts, it's right there in the name. Okay. I was up in Burlington, and I saw this old dad-looking dude with a zip-up sweater, and he was scooping down in the gutter, scraping up leaves out of the grate there where the water drains. Like, that's a really cool thing to do. I should bust this guy's balls. Right? What else would you do? So I snuck up behind him really close, and I'm like, ha! Stealing leaves, eh? And he got all weird. He was like, "Rrr!" And he grabbed the leaves and he ran away. True story. I think it was a crazy old guy, and he really was stealing leaves. And then I felt terrible, you know, because he probably doesn't have that happy a life, and it's one little niche of pleasure that he figured out was a little bit of harmless leaf larceny. But now some asshole pulling a prank has got him convinced that the world's most particular vigilante group is chasing him around Burlington. So, and this all came to me immediately. I was like, oh my God, no, sir, come back. So I started running after him. He's like, "Rrr! Come back." You know, like, there's nothing you can say in that point, right? It's just like, so I don't know what to do. I guess the next time I go to Burlington, just if I see an old guy who looks kind of like him, I'll just hand him a bunch of leaves. Who's the crazy old guy now? Okay, yeah, I do need a better ending for that joke. Yeah. So, all agree that talking dirty in bed is awkward and weird, right? That's why I prefer to sing dirty in bed. You know, like, giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. No, I'm not going to explain it to you. Ask somebody near you who gets more action. They'll tell you. But it's true, though, and I think, most guys like to hear some noise in bed from their partner, and I'm sure it's true for you ladies, too. So I always try to be vocal and express myself, say something like, yippee, I'm having sex! And this time I have a helper! All right, thank you very much, folks. My name's Ron Salite. You were a tough opponent, but fair. I feel like I fought you to a draw, but I hope for better for the remainder of these comedians. Your next comedian, hailing from Boston, is the very funny Kathy Ferris. Please give her a big hand. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait. I screwed up. I'm so sorry. She's coming later. Your next comedian, also from Boston, is the very funny Caitlyn MC.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is very nice and cool. I'm excited to be in Middlebury. This is my first time in Middlebury. It's very cool. Like you said, I've been from Boston, but I grew up in Kentucky. Kentucky, I don't know. Kentucky's kind of weird, I guess. Every time I tell people that I grew up in Kentucky, they look at me like I told them I grew up in foster care. So I don't know if it deserved that woo, apparently. I'm sure you could just, look at me and see why I left Kentucky, right? You don't thrive in Kentucky when you look like you're in the lesbian reboot of The Sandlot, you know? My favorite part about this is that the back balcony is just figuring out that I'm not just a little boy. They've just been squinting I don't know. We'll have to see if they talk about gay stuff. It could be either one. Could be a child prodigy, could just be a pretty classic lesbian. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, I grew up in small town Kentucky on a farm, very similar to this town, but way scarier. That's pretty much what Kentucky is. You guys are so nice, and I'm seeing you smile. You have all your teeth. Great. Keep it up. I, on the other hand, had braces when I was a kid, and we had to drive 2 hours to a better town to get them, which is wild. But yes, and I grew up in that environment, and it was really weird for me because I've looked like a gay little boy since the day I was born. Seriously, I came out of my mother, and the doctor held me, and he was like, "This baby is wearing a U.S. women's soccer jersey. Something's not right. How is the jersey that small? Where did it come from?" Me and him. Oh, okay. And my family, they just look like a normal Kentucky farm family, right? Wears camo to church, Mountain Dew is water, Mountain Dew is life, you know what I mean? That's, I just hit the mic while doing the cross. Oh no, is that a sin? I hope not. I guess being gay is too, but we don't have to get into that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Ron. I'm doing the cross run by hitting the mic. But anyways, so my family looks like that, and I look like this. So, our family pictures from when I was a kid, they look so weird. Those pictures look like my actual family, sent me to that farm to turn me straight. So we can't even hang them up on the walls in our house. People come over and they're like, "Who is this gay orphan?" And we're like, "Granddad, that's your granddaughter." booze. Yeah, and when I go back to my hometown, it's just different than it is here in New England. Like my hometown, they don't like see people like me that like look this gay, you know, they just don't see that. So they're nice, but they're weird. I think that like when I go back, they're weird towards me because they think that like they don't have anything in common with gay people, and so they don't know how to talk to us. Like one time I was in my hometown, and someone asked me if I was related to Ellen. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. That's very weird. And then I was like, wait, is that why you guys are so weird around us? Because you think that we're related and also having sex? Like, that's so weird because that's what everyone thinks about Kentucky. So, yeah. We actually have a lot in common, sounds like. We should really come together and like solve the world's problems. Just the rednecks and the queers just right together, and I'm just in the middle of that diagram, just leading the charge, you know. It wasn't like too weird to grow up there. My weirdest experiences all come from growing up Catholic. That was the shit. Okay, there we go. That's the right girls, yeah. Is this like a Catholic area or no? I'm scared. I should have asked. So I grew up a Catholic, right? And on top of being a queer kid that looked exactly like this, even when I was a teenager, I'm 30. Isn't that absolutely insane? I went to bingo with my mom and got carded. You have to be 16 and play bingo. But anyways, so I'm just still upset about it. I am 30. But yeah, so like, you know, I was a queer kid, and then on top of that, I have a lung disease called cystic fibrosis. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, the Catholic Church, dude, they had no clue what to do with me. They were like, oh, dear God, like, this kid has a severe illness and cystic fibrosis? Like, wow, we're gonna need a lot of prayer for this one. You know what? Bring out the smoky ball on a chain. Yep, let's do it. Circle her with it. Let's go, you know? They did do that. They circled me with it. They were like smoking me out. Like I was like some sort of like little gay brisket or something. I was so confused. I was just sitting there like, you know, I'm not trying to question God Almighty, but like, is this really working? Because I'm coughing more now. That was not planned out. I'm coughing more now, and I definitely still have a crush on my basketball coach, so I don't think it's working at all. I don't think it worked at all. Probably made me worse. I'm just coughing right then. Yeah, so I have cystic fibrosis. So when I was a kid, I got a Make-A-Wish, and I'm totally fine now. I grew up, and now cystic fibrosis like doesn't really affect me what I have, except for like when I have like a small cough like I do right now. Like, I'm not going anywhere, I have a great lifespan, all good, right? But I did get a Make-A-Wish when I was a kid because they didn't know that at the time, right? But I got the worst Make-A-Wish ever. I did. I went to Disney World. I know, it sounds nice, but like, I got to make a wish and it was Disney World. Like, also, when you go to Disney World as a Make-A-Wish kid, you don't actually get anything extra. You get all the same stuff that the healthy kids do. You just meet Mickey Mouse, but you can just skip the line. That's it. Like, you just meet Mickey Mouse an hour earlier than, like, little Stevie and his braces. Like, that's it. Like, you don't get anything special. If I'm getting a Make-A-Wish at Disney World, I want the real shit, you know? I want them to take me to the back and be like, well, you know, you're going to die anyway, so we're going to give you our secrets. This room right here, this is where we froze Walt Disney's body. That's right, we did it in-house. But then I also think about it and I'm like, well, now that I'm healthy and I'm not going anywhere, I'm totally glad that I don't know Disney secrets. Because if you know Disney secrets and then you don't die, they're coming for you for sure, right? And I don't want to go out that way, okay? I don't want to be like assassinated by Goofy or something. Just the last thing I ever hear in my life is, oh, yo. Like, I can't do that. Okay. Okay, well, you guys were along for the ride on that one. My sister was supposed to visit me in Boston recently, and she was like, you know what, I can't come because me and my husband are trying to have a baby, and she was like, we just found out that we have to have a baby through IVF, and it's going to cost us like $20K. And I was like, oh no, because my parents had me through IVF. So now I know how much I'm worth. That's not good. like they paid $20K for me, and I'm just like gay and diseased, and like I'm not sure I can read, if I'm being honest. They paid that much money, and I'm just like a stand-up, which is fine, but you pay that much money, like I should be president or something, right? Like, I'm for sure a recall baby, definitely. They should have sent me back, I think, like, just being honest. I wouldn't feel bad for them for that, but then I'm like, well, you did choose to have a baby through science in Kentucky, so that's actually kind of on you, for sure. I guess I kind of, I'm living up to the cost a little bit. I did do something really cool. So I recently dated a Saudi princess, a princess from Saudi Arabia, totally real. So we started dating, and she was a lesbian refugee from Saudi Arabia, which that makes Kentucky seem like California. Like that place is wild, right? Like, but anyways, and so at first I was like, wow, it is so cool I'm dating a princess. I don't know how I did it. Like, I was eating SpaghettiOs a week ago. Like, doesn't seem right, but I did it. Like, I'm dating a princess. And then I looked it up, and apparently there are like thousands of princesses in Saudi Arabia. So I definitely felt way less cool than, like, I feel like I won a free hotel, but then it was like a La Quinta. And there was just that one hair in the shower, and you're like, oh, God, this wasn't as cool as I thought. We dated for a really long time, and then we broke up, and that was very hard on me. And so after we broke up, I really switched it up. I was like, I need a palate cleanser, And so for the first time in 6 years, I had sex with a man. I know. Yeah, it had been so long since I had sex with a man. When he pulled his dick out, I was like, oh, vintage. Nice. Good for you, Middlebury. Good for you for knowing how gay sex works. I didn't know if you were going to know, and you did, and that was cool. I was like, I'm going to go into this one, and I'm going to go in blind. It's going to be scary, kind of like the drive here. That was wild. And then I got to do it again in the dark. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. It's fine. I love that there's just signs that say moose. That's it. Just moose. And I'm like, oh God, there's one around, but he must be a really bad one. Like he's just looking for the cars. He's like, I hate humans. It's like Cocaine Bear, but a moose. I can't remember what I was saying now. The drive here the entire time, I was having flashbacks to Kentucky. I was like, this is wild, dude. I'm in a Prius. I didn't know I was going to make it up some of those hills. I was like, I think we're stuck here, so I'm glad I made it. Anyways, yeah, so I'm having sex with men again. What a transition. I'm just like, the moose. So anyways, sex with men. But yeah, that's the thing that's happening now, which is wild. And now I gotta worry about getting pregnant, on accident, of course. That's kind of that. I'm doing birth control again, so and I had a pregnancy scare. I had a pregnancy scare. It was the first time that had ever happened to me. And I had to go find the pregnancy test in the store for the first time, and I couldn't find the pregnancy test anywhere. And when I finally found it, it was in between the condoms and the tampons. Like, if you don't want that pregnancy test, that's really cruel. Like, where are the pregnancy tests? Oh, they're in between the thing you should have been using and the thing you wish you were buying. So, have fun without a self-checkout. Don't need to make eye contact, you know? I am bisexual, though. I tell people I'm bisexual, but like, when I say bisexual, I mean like 80-20. Yeah. It's like 80% women, right? And then 20% me being sad at bars. Like, men for me, that's like fast food. Like, if I'm like drunk at 2 a.m. and I'm super hungry, all right, I'll have it. It's just the easiest thing to get that late at night, you know? It's pretty much the only thing that's open, actually. Men are very easy to sleep with. And I look like this, I'm playing on hard mode. Like, I have to convince them that I'll even do it, you know? Like, I have to convince them it's a thing that I do. Like, it's just too easy to sleep with men, it really is. I've had them tell me crazy shit and still sleep with me. I had a man tell me that I sound like Timmy Turner from the Fairly Odd Parents. Not this audience, okay, that's fine. There was 2 young people right in front of me. They're like, oh, fuck! They didn't want to. I had another guy tell me while I was wearing my glasses that I looked like chicken. Oh. It's okay. I know that last joke was like so funny. You're like, fuck! Alright, guys. I'm actually running out of time, so I'm going to say this one more thing and then leave. I had another guy tell me when I was wearing my glasses that I looked like Chicken Little. And that's extra concerning because that's 2 things you shouldn't want to have sex with. That's a chicken and a little boy. That's no good. Okay, guys, I have to leave on that. Okay, thank you guys so much. It was so much fun.
Awesome. Okay, back to tall comics now. Your next comedian, very funny, also from Boston. You may have seen him on Comedy Central. How about a big hand for Jay Smitty?
Thank you. Yes. I was on television. Now I'm in a renovated Buick dealership in Vermont somewhere, so life comes at you quickly, guys. What's up, Woods Whites? How we doing? You guys doing good? White people in the woods. You guys are great. Good to see you guys. You guys live out off the land out here. For real. Oh yeah, we do. No, man, you guys look like you're a beekeeper. Sir, you sell artisanal jams. Miss, which coffee and or bike shop do you work at? I want to stop by. You guys are good. You guys are the fun Woods Whites. You guys aren't all fun. Not all fun. I remember when I first started doing comedy, I would travel more. People would say oh, America is the greatest country in the world, but they haven't been to all the states. Right? We're united, geographically. That's about it, right? You guys ever been to this place called New Hampshire? Ugh. I don't really call it New Hampshire, I just call it, New England, Texas. It's a very, very scary place. It's very scary. I'm sure you guys have crossed the border. It's terrifying. Is what it really is, right? I'm not really scared. I'm mainly scared of, their state slogan. Right? The state slogan's good. I'm sure you guys know the state slogan. Live free or die. That's the most gangster shit I've ever heard. There's only 2 ways to live here. Stakes are high, right? How do you know which side you're on at any given moment, right? You see showing the bar yo, man, you seen Randy lately, man? Heard he ain't living too free. What should we do? Man, let's kill that joke. We only got 2 options. Come on, you guys are classy. I like you guys. You guys are very classy. Very classy. I remember I was doing a show in Burlington, and this old white lady, she just said the most like adorably white thing I've ever heard. She just ran to me, she was like, "Sir, you are so tall. Are you a basket man?" I was like, "Yes, wicker baskets, straw baskets, whatever you need. I play for the Vermont Basket Man, yes." It's like a 10-day contract. I'm not on the team yet, you know. It's just, trust the process. You guys are cool, man. You guys are real cool. Love coming out here doing this stuff. No. How was everybody's pandemic? Everybody had a good pandy? Everybody had a good pandy? You had a good one? I had a great one. Learned a lot about myself. A lot of time alone, man. I don't know. I've also realized it's just like we're Americans, so like we didn't really have COVID, right? We're like, you countries, you had COVID. Like, I'm going to the beach. I'm American, right? I don't know. It's a weird time too, man. Like, cause we're still like people still wear masks. Some people don't wear masks. It's a strange time. We're all kind of just playing it as we go, right? Like, is it nowadays like wearing a mask is like wearing a condom, right? You'd be like, I'll put it on if you want me to. I mean, I'm clean. I'm American. I don't know about you. I suppose, you know. Very iffy change. We don't know. I don't know. We all don't know. We're all trying to just figure it out. Trying to figure it out. I know, because I know I'm American because like I'm just like, I'm so arrogant. That's how I know. I love being American because we're so goddamn arrogant, right? We don't care, right? Like when I got my Pfizer shot, like I would see people who got like Johnson & Johnson, and I would like walk over them like they were homeless people, right? I'd be like, "Excuse me, wish I could stay and talk, but you're dirty." So, Pfizer gang, boom boom. That's what I'm all about, man. But no, we had a tough time like performing because it was really rough being a comedian during those crazy times because like we had to go to all sorts of strange places. We had to like perform in like outdoor breweries. Like, I don't know, you guys might like breweries. I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan. But first issue is stop bringing your babies to the breweries. Like, people, stop doing that. That's not cool. Just get a babysitter or go to an AA meeting. Like, figure it out. One or the other. Figure it out, okay? You have a problem. Serious problem, right? Also be like, "Yo, Smitty, you gotta go to the brewery, man." I'm like, "Why do I have to go?" "Cause they make it there." Because they make it there. That's not a reason to do anything. Right? All right. Like I smoke weed every day. I don't want to go to a high school dropout's garage. Like, you know, that's not a good thing to do, right? But we had to perform outside all the time. And it was a crazy place. It was like, I remember we had to do this outdoor show in a park over in Harvard, and I got to tell you guys, those Harvard kids, little too liberal. You can't pronoun your way to happiness. It's not going to work out. Right? It's not gonna work. They're very sheltered people is what it is. They're extremely triggered. Like the slightest thing just gets them, right? Very, very triggered people. We're doing this show, and there's this girl in the front row who goes to Harvard, and she's just triggered by everything we say on stage, right? Mila said, she's just like, you can't call people gypsies anymore. You can't call people gypsies anymore. It's offensive. I'm like, what do I call this person? Magical Italians? Like, how do I describe this person, right? You like the jokes? Yeah, you like the jokes. 10 minutes later, you can't say homeless anymore. You can't call people homeless. It's offensive. I'm like, what do I call this band? Residentially challenged? Like, trying to get a house right now, guys, but it's very challenging. It's very tough. Thoughts and prayers. At one point, I was like, look, miss, you're very triggered right now. You're very triggered. Clearly, you want to be a part of the show. What's your major here at Harvard? She's like, I'm a sociology major. I was like, I looked right back at her, and you know what I said? I said, you can't call people sociology majors anymore. You can't call people sociology majors anymore. It's offensive. They prefer the term future baristas. So, I'm just saying, man. Look, I'm just saying, like, go to class, read some books, have some experiences first, but most importantly, just shut the fuck up, right? It's gonna be okay, right? It's gonna be alright. I don't know, if I spent like $200,000 on tuition and I couldn't make a latte, I'd be upset too. It's all about middle ground, you know? I understand. I don't know, man. Like, I'm super cynical these days. I don't know about you guys. I'm super cynical to the point where, like, I don't even like holidays anymore. You guys still do these holiday things? You like holidays, sir? What's your favorite holiday? Halloween? Yeah, you would say that. That's, I think we could agree, like, Halloween is, like, kind of, like, for white people. Halloween is, you guys can clap. You're white. It's for you guys. It's a very, trick-or-treat is just very Caucasian energy, right? It's just like, I either want to scare you or just give me a gift just for showing up. It's a very white thing. Halloween is a very white thing. It's just, do you, bro. I don't know, I realize that life's kind of rough, so we just make up these fake days to feel better about ourselves. That's all holidays really are, right? We don't really care. We're just gonna fill up the void, right? And I think the worst holiday is Christmas, because of the music. Right? It's way too happy, it's way too cheery. What I'm saying is, we don't make Christmas songs for people who hate their families. Right? You're never gonna go home in December, turn on the radio and hear, simply having a dinner in icy silence. Like, it's never gonna come out, right? I request that song every year. They don't play that song. It's my favorite Christmas song, right? Valentine's Day is a rough holiday. Ooh, that's a rough holiday. That's a tough holiday, right? Such a tough holiday. Because the thing with Valentine's Day is like, clap if you had a good Valentine's Day. Lying. So this is lying in my face. I don't know, man. I don't know, because it's a thing where, I mean, not even a holiday. I think Easter might be the worst one. I'm just lying. Easter might be the worst holiday. I remember, because what I've realized about holidays is like it's all about corporations, right? They just want to make money. I saw the most messed up Easter commercial from Toyota this year. Terrible commercial, right? It starts out with a view of the clouds, and then the clouds are slowly breaking, and the sun is poking through the clouds, and the clouds break. This loud, ominous voice just says, "He has risen." But you know what hasn't risen? Our prices. Come on down to Toyota. I was like, what would Jesus do? He'd hop in this fully loaded Camry. It's like, Jesus, you don't know Jesus' credit score. He can't drive that. Like, stop. He's a carpenter. He doesn't have money. This is ridiculous, right? The last part of the ad was by far the most offensive part. Like, the car dealer just came out, he was holding two crosses. He was like, guys, these cars are just flying off the lot. We might just have to nail them down. Come on down to Toyota. Like, whoa! Can't do this, man. You need Jesus, Toyota. You need Jesus. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be a better person these days. I'm really trying to reflect and be a better person, but like, I'm a millennial, so fuck it. Right? Like, we're not good people. We're really not good people at all. We're trash people is what we really are. We're just hefty bags with arms and legs. That's all we really are. Like, you guys are the real generation. When things actually happen and things matter, right? Like, your generation, we don't care about anything, so we pretend to care about everything. We don't care about anything at all, right? We just want to trend and be popular online. We just want to blow up on the gram. That's all we want to do, right? Like, you don't want to save turtles from straws. But you want a picture of yourself saving that turtle from a straw. That is way more important than actually saving that. You care more about Ninja Turtles than actual turtles. Let's do it, right? I don't know, it was a few years ago, Kendall Jenner, she had that social justice Pepsi commercial. That's the most millennial thing of all time. That could only happen now. That couldn't happen back in the day, right? Like, you couldn't support Martin Luther King in 1963 if he was selling merch, right? That's a tough dream, right? You tough celebrating that dream, right? It's 1963, he's in the Capitol building, he's just like, brothers and sisters, I have something to say. Brothers and sisters, I want my children to be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. Brothers and sisters, we are thirsty for justice. And Pepsi's on sale for $29 this weekend. $29, it's a goddamn deal. Better not catch you drinking Coke. Martin trying to get this Pepsi money. No, it's not the way to freedom at all. At all, man. I don't know, I'm trying to be a better person. Like, I think I need better friends. You guys need better friends, right? You guys ever need better friends? Some of you are with them right now, you can't say shit, so I get it. Like, right, like, you know, like, why'd we bring Dave? Like, because we have DUIs and he drove. So, like, I don't know, I gotta update my roster, is what I'm saying. I really gotta update my roster is what the real problem. I just gotta get better friends, man. I remember I had this one friend, like, you have these friends who are like, they're dumber than they are bigoted. Right? Like, I had this one friend, like, he doesn't have a homophobic bone in his body, but, like, he has a GED, and this is a real problem. It's been a real problem. This is maybe, like, 15 years ago. He said something so offensive to me, I was like, you probably shouldn't go to work on Monday. So offensive. This is so offensive. Basically, it's like a 95-degree day. I'm just chilling, hanging out in front of the air conditioner. Him and one of his friends come by, and they're like, yo, Smitty, hot as hell outside. We got to get this ice cream. We need you. I was like, you need me? How much ice cream are we getting where it's a 3-man operation? You need me. And then he looked me in my human face, and he said something I will never forget. He looks me in the face, he says, yo, we need you, because if 3 dudes get ice cream together, it ain't gay. But if 2 dudes get ice cream together, it's perfectly fine. I was like, that's not how ice cream works. Like, ice cream's not gay, you just grew up without a father. Like, that's the real problem. Like, we argue 20 minutes straight if ice cream's gay or not. I'm like, bro, why do you want to go to the ice cream parlor all hard? It's ice cream. It's the softest thing you can eat. What are we talking about, right? So after 20 minutes arguing, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go grab ice cream, right? So I'm sitting in the back seat of the car, and I'm just sitting there like, what's my role here? Right? Like, I'm the newest member of the We Ain't Gay, but We Like Desserts Avengers. What is my role in this mission right now, right? So we finally pull up, this is a completely true story. We pull up to the Friendlies, and as soon as we walk in, we see not 1, not 2, but 3 of the gayest dudes we went to high school with, all getting ice cream together. No joke. Can't make this up. I look at my boy like, 6 dicks, 6 scoops, let's have a party! Guys, look at this, man. You guys in the dope crowd. Let's get back to your hosts. That's Jay Smitty, ladies and gentlemen. The ice cream dude.
All right, without further ado, I'm going to bring up someone. I already brought her up once before, but that was a mistake. This time it's for real. She has a dry bar special coming out, which you should look up. Kathy, it's spelled K-A-T-H-E, Ferris. Dry bar special, that's a fantastic series. If you don't know about it, Google it. And she also has an album coming out in the fall. How about a big hand for Kathy Ferris?
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I spend a lot of my day online watching surprise military homecomings. I feel like there's a few of you out there too, yes? When Tina asked me, what are you doing on Friday the 16th? I'm like, well, I'm a stereotypical middle-aged woman, so I'm drinking alone, attending to fold laundry, solving already solved Dateline mystery murders. Wow. Anyone else into true crime? I'm into it because anytime I watch one of these episodes, I think, that should have been me. Like at 20, I should have been a statistic, right? Because I would have gone into the woods. I would have taken a free drink. I have gone to a man's basement to see his frog. I know I'm not alone in that. 20 years old, down Cape Cod, just walking down the street. We don't have cell phones or anything like that, right? So it's just me walking down the street. This guy pulls up and he's like, hey lady, would you like to come to my apartment and see my frog? I'm like, would I? I mean, this could be something special. This might be my guy. Come from a big family? Anybody else have a big family? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you come from a big family, exactly how the way you said it. Yes, I come from a big family. I have 5 sisters. Anytime I tell people that, they're like, 6 girls, no boys, huh? Like I counted wrong? You forgot about Kevin? Yeah. 6 girls, my mom was trying for a boy. My dad was trying for an improv troupe. Yeah, 6 girls is weird. Anytime we're in public, we look like some kind of protest, I couldn't get our shit together. Like a poorly attended women's march. Thank you, man, you're my favorite. When you have that many kids, though, you have to do tough love. I think a lot of us were grown up on tough love, right? Exactly, you're very quiet right now, yes. Exactly, we knew our place. When I was 11 years old, I was kicked out of the Girl Scouts of America because my troop leader hated me. My mother would say, Kathleen, Mrs. Sullivan didn't hate you. Mrs. Sullivan was going through an ugly divorce. And it reminded her of Mr. Sullivan. She was right. I did not care about that because I wanted to quit. But my mother would never allow me to quit. And I raised my girls that way. We don't quit. We just leave early and then never show up again. That's how I parent. Any parents here tonight? That's about the enthusiasm I expected. Good. You see, parenting, toughest job you'd ever love. No. Get out here, no. Toughest job I'd ever love. Toughest job I'd ever love, combative judge on MasterChef Junior. It combines 2 of my passions, criticizing other people's cooking while crushing a 6th grader's dream. I want this job. Only other job I'd want is a hairstylist. Anybody here a hairstylist? Great, we're really connecting now. I like this. It's a great job. I mean, it could really make somebody's day or ruin their next 6 weeks. It's a powerful job, though. You don't want to mess with a hairstylist. They're having a bad day. Somebody cuts them off on the way to work. Fuck it, everyone's getting bangs. You care about your bone structure, everyone's getting bangs. I want that kind of job. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and the toughest part about being a stay-at-home mom is the judgment you get for being a stay-at-home mom when your kids are 25 years old. Like all of a sudden I'm supposed to have a job outside the home. No, that's why I pretend that I have a job during the day. Like I walk around with a lanyard and a bracelet that has like 27 keys on it. You know you can just buy keys. You just buy keys. My cat's therapist, Dr. Sherman. I don't even know what to do with that. Your cat doesn't have a thing. Mine does. It's the only way to get Prozac, okay? So Dr. Sherman says this whole 27 key thing is kind of like living a lie. I completely disagree. I think it's a mindset. And if you don't mind lying, all set. I don't mind lying. Do you guys mind lying? I do not mind lying. What I do mind are people that say they can't lie. Exactly. You get it. I don't believe that people can't lie. Oh, I can't lie. I'm a bad is a skill. It takes practice, like playing the guitar, gaslighting a loved one. You gotta work at it every day, right? Do the scales, maybe get a wall, some red string, keep your story straight. If you want to show somebody you care, you give them a thoughtful lie. Don't give them a flimsy, lazy lie. Am I right? Do you not get more offended if it's a flimsy, lazy lie? Like, if you don't want to meet up with me on Tuesday at Panera Bread to discuss the similarities between the Old Testament and the Real Housewives of New Jersey, give me a good lie. Show me you care. Don't give me these flimsy lies like, oh, something came up at work. Or my new favorite, I have COVID. You tell me if COVID, I'm coming to your home and I'm double swabbing you. And I'm waiting 15 minutes. I care enough about you. I don't want to meet you either on Tuesday. But you know what? I'm going to give you a good lie. I usually tell people my cat got arrested again. Google it, cats get arrested. Still my favorite. Thanks for checking in. 2023, this year I decided no resolutions. Nope, not doing that. I'm only doing 2 things in 2023. Get hydrated and get my printer to print. That's it, that's all I'm doing. Stop being thirsty and just walk around with a hard copy of my W-9. I'm not trying to live my best life anymore. You been trying to live our best lives? We don't need to be doing that kind of stuff, right? Honestly, we never needed to do it anyway. All you need to do is give the appearance that you're living your best life, right? Like you post pictures of yourself happy and wearing pants that have zippers, and you keep a clean house, and people are like, she's got it together. She's living her best life. You know what? I'm not. Is everything okay? I'm not living my best life. That's Spanx and Lysol foaming bathroom cleaner. That's what that is. Now, it feels like this section knows what Lysol foaming bathroom cleaner is. Do you guys know what Lysol foaming bathroom cleaner is? It's really a game changer, honestly. It's a cleaning agent that can cut through soap scum simply by spraying it and walking away. All you do, you just spray it and you walk away. You spray it. I'm sure the next time you shower, your breathing's gonna be real labored. Like bad, like an asthmatic in a rainstorm. But you know what you do? You just sit down for a couple of minutes, it's just a shallow breath, like inhale, love and light, exhale, outrage, and not all Trader Joe's sell wine. 10 minutes later, you're good to go. It's okay. Honestly, by this time, most people are like, you know what? I want to like her, but I can't. I get it. God feels the same way about me, okay? I know this about me, right? God and I have this. I know that, I believe in God. I believe that God hears my prayers, but I worry that He's tracking them. You know what I mean? Like how Bank of America tracks my expenses. So the next time we meet up, there's going to be this PowerPoint and graphs about every time that. Let me ask you this. You ever tell somebody you're going to pray for them, and you do pray for them, but you hold back a little bit? I get it. I'm not going right to heaven. That is for favored people. That is for exceptional people. It is not for people who knowingly give their daughters multivitamins for men. So I'm getting whitelisted, okay? I'm going to be in purgatory for some time. I'm fine with it. I'm playing this safe, okay? And to me, purgatory is that place where you struggle the most in life. So I'm going to be in the car with my husband, Jeff, listening to sports talk radio. I'm fascinated by sports talk radio. I'm fascinated by these men who call in week after week with all this passion and insight for the New England Patriots offensive line, but are on their second marriage due to lack of communication. Like, you know, all the drama around the offense coordinator this season. I will give you $1,000 to name your kid's orthodontist. This is where it starts for us, okay? This is where we struggle in the car. I'll say this, I've been married 30 years, and we only have two problems in our marriage: the car and the kids. If we didn't have those, everything would be great. I don't know what happens in the car, and I know this guy loves me, and I know that he protects me, but when he's driving with me, I think he wants to kill me. It's like an escape room on wheels. I feel like some of you feel this way too, but you drove with that person. So we'll just hold them back a little bit. I'm not kidding. This guy got in 5 accidents, 3 in our driveway. 3 months ago, somebody threw a milkshake at us. How mad do you have to get to throw a milkshake at somebody? A milkshake is a treat. I'll tell you this though, when you want somebody to feel a consequence, throw a milkshake at them. After that, I decided things have to change. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have a good marriage. I'm going to give you one piece of advice though. If you want your marriage to last, I have 4 words for you. Get in the back. That hit home, huh? Yeah, get in the back. Because in the back, you don't have to mouth apologies to anybody. You don't have to mime a slow death. You can just sit and on your phone, you control your dentist on LinkedIn. Because here's the thing, when you're in the back, people on the road don't see you in a marriage. They see you in an Uber. It's called role playing. Saves marriages. Jeff and I just don't role play in the car. One of our favorite places to role play, the backyard. Yeah. You can do a drive-by any given Saturday in the fall, and you find Jeff playing the role of an ill-equipped, impatient landscaper. And Kathy playing the role of the whole fucking crew. I knew I fucking liked you guys. You do not know moms. That's my purgatory. But I'm not going to be there for long because I've got a plan. I don't know what Jeff's doing, but 18 months ago, I donated an organ. Well, a keyboard, okay? It's a Casio, okay? It's got a stand and everything. Honest to God, you guys didn't even believe that. You just blank silence. I donated an organ. Good for me. Probably should. Here's the thing. Some of you tonight will meet afterwards. Well, most won't because they think that I'm this off-putting in real life, and I am. But some of you will ask me if I have done therapy. Yeah, I tried it. My kids do it. And here's what I did take from therapy, though. I do believe in self-care. You guys do self-care? I do take care of myself. Like I talk to plants, and I Zumba, and I walk. My favorite place to walk around is CVS, and I wear my bracelet of keys, and I just misinform people about skincare. exhilarating. I did try therapy, but I got better results from just a couple of sessions of laser tag. Ever play laser tag? I have never felt that free. I mean, sure, I ruined a 9-year-old's birthday party. But I also worked through some pretty big intimacy issues. And I made the leaderboard 3 times, okay? That kid sucked. That's not on me, that's on his parents. I'm sorry that Devin didn't make the leaderboard. But you know who did 3 times? Laser MILF, laser MILF, laser MILF, guys. You guys have been terrific. I'm happy guys.
Kathy Ferris, ladies and gentlemen. Before we bring up your headliner, I just want to point out that the bar staff is making the effort of staying open so you guys can stay hydrated or dehydrated or whichever you prefer during the show. I've checked it, it works. So don't make them just sit there looking awkward, you know? Yeah. And if you didn't tip earlier, you can always tip them on the way out too. That's allowed. So, your next comedian, probably known to many of the people in this audience, I'm guessing, right? Yeah? Some of you knew her when she was 7 and selling Girl Scout cookies at your doorstep. Why didn't you buy them? That's just weird. Now, she is a nationally successful comedian living in Brooklyn. This fall, she is doing a tour of the entire West Coast, from all the way from Seattle down to San Diego in September. And I know your kids are all living on the West Coast, so tell them to go see her. How about a big hand for Tina Friml?
This is what, like, the 4th year I've ever done this show, and it's like become a tradition. Every year I feel like I drink just a little bit more before I come on here. Just think, I know you guys, okay, this is fun, we're fun here, okay, we're fun, right? Right? I would give it up for my friends. There's a kind of catharsis I get from bringing these gritty Brooklyn, Boston comics to Middlebury. But like it's because you did it to me first. Okay? So I grew up in this theater. So my mom was the box office manager. Ellie. For like 12 or 13 years. So quite literally after school, I would come here, hang out. I used to, be at rehearsals in the corner eating green peppers pizza. You did it to me first, okay? Like in 2002. They had a production of Chicago here. And right? Yeah. I vividly remember I was 7 years old. And I asked my mom, what does murder mean? And my mom, without any hesitation, said, that's when a person kills another person. And then she walks back to her duties. she neglected to tell me that it was not just for fun. So here I was watching all these women in fishnets, okay, explain how fun it was to kill someone. So you see why I'm a stand-up comedian. By the way, I know it's dim in here, but like, I can see your faces. Like, I'm like, a lot of you know who I am, but not all of you. So like, every fifth person doesn't know what's happening. You're like, oh God, is it that cold? So let me introduce who I am. So I'm Tina. Hey. So I am disabled. Don't worry, you're going to be okay. Lock doors. No, but I know. I'm sorry, it's so hard. A bit of an enigma, you know. I'm not like totally committed to the lifestyle of it, you know. I'm like the bisexuality of ability. Like I'm bi-able. A lot of people think that I suffer from cerebral palsy, right? Which I don't. Well, I have cerebral palsy. I suffer from people. I mean, you know, it began, like, I went to MUHS right down the road, and I was in art class one day, just like painting a color wheel, you know. A girl leaned over to me and she said, Tina, it's so cool, because, like, you're disabled, but you're actually good at stuff. Oh, what do you say to that? That is a common misconception, Becky. It's not that I'm actually good at all this stuff. No. I'm just particularly bad at being disabled. And that's where it began, and it will never end. Like, okay, so I'm 29 now, okay? Yeah, good age. It's the oldest I've ever been. So I go out, so I live in you know, New York City, in Brooklyn, in Bushwick. Do we know Bushwick? Okay, if we don't know Bushwick, it's a part of Brooklyn, very artistic, very hipster. Like, everyone looks like they could be named Andy, you know, so I live there, and you know, I have fun. I go out a lot. I usually judge a club based on what the bouncer thinks I'm on. I'm a bit of a trick question to that. Like, I'm a bit of a riddle. Like, my voice says booze, but my mouth says cocaine. What am I? I don't know. It's fine. By the way, I do have other jokes. I feel like I gotta say that, because I travel the whole country. I have so many jokes about being disabled. Like, people tend to think it's my only problem. They're like, oh yeah, that's Tina. She kind of sounds a bit like lamb chop. Slowed down. Other than that, she's okay. Thank you for getting that reference. I'm Bushwick, that does not work. I have to basically explain. Okay, so I grew up in Vermont in the 90s, so I grew up in the 80s. All I'm saying is I do have other jokes, okay? But I will say though, if anyone comes in the room from now on, no one tell them that I'm using. This is an art, okay? I work hard. This is an art form. And they're late patrons. They don't deserve context. Just say that I'm foreign. You know? Like, foreign. And you can really feel good too. Like, after the show, two brothers just said, like, oh yeah, what did you think of that cute foreign comedian? She sounded a little bit Slovenian. Guys, if I don't make fun of me for being disabled, who will? Don't answer. I do other jokes, I promise. But the thing is, okay, one thing I will say, though, like, I got roped into this. So, no, for real. So, okay, guys, I began comedy like 7 years ago. And I wanted to talk about normal things, like poop, coffee, anyways. But you roped me into it. It's a bit like, it's a bit like this. There's this story about Alice Cooper. Do we know who Alice Cooper is? America's sweetheart. Okay, so back in the 1970s in LA, before Alice Cooper was Alice Cooper, he was just a normal guy with a normal band, you know? And there's this infamous story about one time he was at a festival doing the show. Some person off stage signs on a live chicken on stage. The chicken tries out right in front of him. Alice is from Detroit. He's never seen a chicken. So he picks it up and he throws it, thinking it would fly away. Like a duck. It did not. It kind of plummeted into this 1970s rock crowd. Then go on to dismantle this chicken, throw the remnants back on stage. The next day, the paper is right. Alice Cooper kills chicken on stage. People love it. They love it. They go bananas. Or he reads this, he sees this, he thinks, I guess this is just what I do now. So that's me in comedy, okay? Disability is the chicken. I was just trying to get it out there, y'all, with this show. But you sickos. They're like, no, we're dissecting this. And I know that's a really dark story, but my comedy show, I know, I just love that multi-platinum winning Alice Cooper owes his whole career to thinking a chicken was a bird of prey. That's very funny to me. Okay? I always say that, like, I get my blue eyes from my mom, I get my height from my dad, and then I get my humor from the uncle out in LA that I was never allowed to really meet. By the way, and actually, this is not a joke. This is like just a little behind the scenes thing for you guys. So I've been telling that joke for maybe like 9 months or a year now. You know, the Alice chicken disability uncle. Great bit, right? Okay. Solid jokes in it. So about 3 weeks ago, I found something else. Again, this is not a joke, so sorry if this is not like great storytelling here. But you will never believe this, but the person, I found out through the internet, that the person who put on the chicken onto that stage was my uncle. I love comedy. And see, so I can't even write a joke about that because you would never believe that. Anyway, all I'm saying is I do have other jokes. And here they are right now. I live in New York City. It's great. It's actually really easy to kind of like impress people. Kind of like whenever they like see a disabled. Okay, one last disabled. but like whenever they see a disabled person, you know, living their best life, they're usually thinking like them giving a TED talk, like finishing a marathon in last place. Right? I found a knife in a subway. Exciting! So I kept it. I didn't really keep it. Okay. I did good Samaritan. I gave it to the attendant. So I go over, I scoop it up, you know, I just scoop it up. And I quickly realized there is no non-ominous way to carry a knife. I think I'm fine, okay? So I just start like, you know how I do. People got nervous. So I kind of hold it fist, blade down, or just start power walking. Like, New Yorkers, I don't know if you know this, New Yorkers love a power. But not in this case, because I'll get even more nervous. I quickly realized the only non-threatening way to carry a knife from point A to point B is give it to a child. That is by far the stupidest joke I embarrassing. And the funny thing is, though, my parents, I thought when I moved back to New York, I thought my parents would be so worried about me, right? Like, I don't know. Well, a little bit about me. And, so, you know how COVID, COVID? you know COVID? Yeah. So, have you ever noticed that, like, everyone seemed to have the COVID nightmare? Like for some reason, in March of 2020, right when COVID happened, everyone was just living their greatest dreams. Like, everyone seems to have, like, I was starting a business, I just had a baby. I can be all of you, okay? Because in late February of 2020, I lost my virginity. And it was great. What? Sex is great. Why is no one talking about it? My whole self-esteem was then I was so high. Like, I was walking into Victoria's Secret. Like, I knew the secret. And then God just said no. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Make her live with her mom and dad for a year. At the age of 27. It's okay. Like, I can't relive the teenage years I never had. Like, I got my driver's license in that year. I got into weed. I played Roller Coaster Tycoon. And it didn't touch anybody. And I know that in that year, in the next year and a half, when things began to happen again, I was still living at home, but I was going out on the road, actually touring for a while, coming back to live in New Haven, Vermont. And it was great, except I thought that when I got out there, my parents would be really worried about me. I'm their only daughter. No. So I realized that I worry about my mom and dad way more than they ever worry about me. So, for instance, I was in Philadelphia, out in the wings, about to do a show. About a crowd like this, actually. It was a big show. I get a call from my dad. And you know you get that anxiety. You got, like, something's wrong. So, I pick up the phone. I said, "What, Dad? Oh my God, what?" He said, "Your mom and I are about to put in a movie. But we can wait a minute if you want to come downstairs and sit." I'm in the middle of something sad. But what movie? And he said, a movie called Once. He said, "Oh, sorry, Dad. I've already seen Once. But you know, it's a great movie. You'll like it." And well, when he's about to hang up, they have an old phone. Well, when he's about to hang up, I very quickly but very clearly said, they get together in the end. So, I don't know if you are familiar with the film. Once they don't get together. I play that prank on my mama all the time, but with my own love life. Although, so speaking of love life, I'm out in New York now. I'm on the apps, the little dating apps. I'm on Field. We don't know Field. Really, Middlebury, Vermont doesn't have Field. It's spelled F-E-E-L-D. L-D is missing a vowel. Like a, well, okay, I kind of thought maybe there'd be like one person cause like, okay, I've always thought this, but like, I feel like Middlebury, like, I feel like there is like a swingers scene. Is there? I know you guys are cultured, you know exactly what I mean. I've always thought it, I've never said it. Okay, so we'll move on. There is all the bars close at 10:30 p.m. What are you doing? So there's this thing called polyamory. And Field is all about that. The best way that I can describe this app called Field is a bit like TaskRabbit, but for sexual deviants. Okay, do we know what the TaskRabbit is? Okay, TaskRabbit is like when you don't have a boyfriend or a dad, but you have a shelf that needs assembling. My shelf needed assembling. You know, this is a really awkward bit. Because they do have a boyfriend and a dad. But, so I'm on this app. And online dating is weird. Okay, but it's like weirder when me, right? Because all these guys, they know about this, right? They know about this. But they don't know about this. I feel like I'm a little, like, catfish. So, but it's not my fault. Okay, I'll read all the profiles of all these guys on these apps. Turns out a lot of guys are open-minded. They say they're open-minded, and they say they're down for whatever. I used to think down for whatever was a green light for me. I come to find out I don't so much need a guy who's down for whatever, but more a guy who's up for something very particular. men love me. They love a challenge. A lot of people think that young kids are freaked out by me because I'm so different, I'm so odd, and I give them knives. No, kids love me. Okay. I'm like a giant 5-year-old, okay? Got the voice and the motor skills of a 5-year-old. I'm on their team. You know who is freaked out by me? Pregnant couples. Okay, that's a new joke. I feel like I just ruined about 50 people's days. And that's why I do this. I love it. People always ask me if I was, born with it. And I say, yeah, I was. Like, when my mom and dad had me, the doctor came in the hospital and just said that she's okay. She's going to be okay, but not really. No, he said, she'll have a bit of a hard time speaking, hard time with like balance, and, walking. But the good news is she'll never grow up to become like a stand-up comedian. Like that joke. My mom and dad do not. Well, I gotta get out of here, but, like, ultimately, though, being born disabled, it turned out to be the best decision I ever made. I'm the comedian. Actually, I love being a comedian. I love being a career-oriented woman, right? And this is real. I did write off Plan B as a business expense. I don't know if you can do that, but I did it. And I'm here right now. It really is, though. Okay. I will never run out of things to say on stage. AI could never take my job. They will never know. They'll never be in my bands, okay? They'll never be able to be in my shoes. Because, okay, like, picture this, okay? I wake up every day. I'm disabled. I get up. And I go out into the world. I see people. They see me. They don't know what's happening. They don't know what to say. That doesn't stop them, right? So, the prime example of this, by far the best, worst thing that anyone said to me after a comedy show happened in Montpelier, Vermont. Yeah, yes. I had someone say no. Yes. So picture this, about a year ago, I get booked to do a comedy fundraiser for the Vermont Democratic Party. Okay, so cool. I go there, I do my thing, I crush. You know how I do. And it's like a small bar, a bar show. I go off stage, I go to the back of the room. A woman rises from the front seat, beelines right towards me. oh my God, I love you. You're so funny. I said, thank you so much. She said, but I gotta say, she did not. I gotta say, for the first half of your set, I was livid. I was furious because I thought you were faking it. Okay, guys, so here, let me paint a picture here. So, this is what this woman thought was happening. She thought that I, a comedian, get a call one day to do a comedy fundraiser for the Vermont Democratic Party. And I think to myself, yes, they're gonna love this shit. That's how I know that I can never win. I can never win in this life. I can make all of you laugh. I'll be one guy in the back just thinking she's not committing to the bit. You know, I want to know also, like, this woman was in the front row, right? I want to know what was the exact moment? What was the exact moment that she realized she's looking at, like, an authentic? Was it when I spit upon her? For the second time? And she thought, like, ooh. I love her. The moral of all of this, if you will. By the way, thank you guys for coming. Yeah, we sold out. Other amazing comics like and again, thank you so much for talent theater for not only this show but defining my life. But the moral, I guess, of all this is, I mean, like, I can't lose. Like everything that I do is just an inspiration. I can't lose. Why do you think that I can do this so confidently? Okay, I know that, like, even if I bombed, right, even if, like, none of you laughed, it's still like a TED Talk. That's how I got. Tina Friml, ladies and gentlemen. Did you folks have fun tonight? I want to point out that your drink servers are still available on your way out. Also, this is part of a series from an anonymous benefactor providing a bunch of free shows to the citizens of Middlebury here and at other locations. How about the big hand for them?
suggestion for all the money you just saved because of that generous act. Anyway, look that up on the website for Town Hall Theater. And one more time tonight for Tina Friml. Ferris.